All right, welcome to the FeedBak podcast, everybody. My name is Back. This is episode 224. A couple announcements. Number one, make sure you go to the archive. I talked to a lot of funny people. I said every time. Lucas McQuarrie was on. Hans Kim was on. Joe Barksdale, JT Kelly, Chris Tan. The list goes on and on. So go back to them. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. That's where the feedback is. If you're listening to this, hopefully you're already subscribed. Leave a review, do all that good stuff. That would help me and get these comics some recognition somehow. I don't know. But without further ado, let me introduce my guest. I got the very funny Ben Howard in the building. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Thank you, Back.
Thank you. No, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Sorry for the lateness, technical difficulties, as always.
Hey,
Always happens.
That happens. Every podcast I've ever been. I've never been to a comedy show or a podcast that has started on time. There's no such thing. It doesn't.
No,
happen.
so something always happens. And actually, no, I've been to one, but they had like a full-on production crew type shit.
A podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was
that has the
yeah,
guys
like
in the booth and all that.
The 16-year-old, and he has like 5 monitors and the soundboard that they use in, at P. Diddy's studio.
Yeah, exactly.
And
The fucked up thing is that it's like the 16-year-olds are the ones that are like more suited to do that than us. That are
Yeah.
like in our late 20s to 30s. Like it's.
I ain't got time for this shit.
I don't know how to do any of that. I shouldn't even have an iPhone 11. Like I don't know.
You don't want to know?
I know. I have no interest in knowing with the thing. That's like I'm like dating and stuff now. Like I like younger girl. Like I can't even talk to younger girls. There's no.
Yeah, you got no. You know
Yeah.
what? I can.
I'm not that old.
I probably nobody's been on the show that everybody's been younger than me on the show.
Yeah.
So I am older than you. Point is, I do agree. Being around 20-year-olds, I just can't. Actually, I think my bar is at 33.
That's like where you would prefer.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're 30, if you're under 33, I can't. I got nothing.
I'm 28. I mean, I would prefer. I like older girls. Older being I'd say about like 32, 33.
That's considered older?
I mean, for me, I'm 28. Like
Really?
older than me. I don't mean like they have like teenage children. Like I don't mean like
They
that.
you could have teenage children. At
I
32.
sure you could, but no. I mean, but it's like there's because there's a similar life view a lot of times,
Yeah.
and life experience, and then I get 22-year-olds. I'm an old man. They're like, do you have a Snapchat? I'm like, no, but I remember when it was invented. Like, does that count?
but you know what? I always thought. Well, I didn't know how old you were, but at least to me, you always come across as a like older statesman kind of thing. Like you might be 28, but your demeanor says that you're older.
I appreciate that. I'm assuming that's a compliment. It's
Old soul type shit.
yeah, I've been told that a lot. I mean, my 2 best friends are 39 and 35. Like, they're
Old fucks.
yeah.
I'm
They're-
39.
They're
Fuck
over,
you.
they're over the hill. They're
No,
dying.
but
They're
so-
dying soon, dude.
Shit. Don't tell me that. I got so much to offer to the world. You can't just,
You're a good-looking 39 though. Black don't crack. That's true,
yeah, and
right?
African doesn't bend. So, I'm
Africa
good.
That's where are you from originally?
Senegal, yeah.
Senegal.
Senegal, yeah. I would say my dad is 70. He looks just like me.
Really?
That gives me hope. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I'll be all right. I'll
Yes.
be all right.
That's I need to not age like my father.
Oh, really? What does it
Yeah,
look like?
he hit 50 and suddenly he's like hunched over and
Yeesh.
like you just thinning hair, and I'm like, please don't let that be on my horizon. I love that I like both my dad and my brother have had receded hairlines
Uh-huh.
and basically are going bald, and my brother's 35. Like my dad just turned 60, and they both are losing their hair. And I mean, my dad lost his hair forever ago, and my brother. Over the past like 5 years, it's been an ongoing thing. I'm like, please do not let.
You'll find out. That's what I'm going through right now. And it sucks. And then nobody else has it.
This episode is brought to you by Keeps.
Keeps, yeah. They're not sponsored yet. I use Hims and now I use Keeps, actually.
Yeah, do you? Have you tried?
I tried Hims. It worked.
It did?
It worked for me.
That
yeah.
gives me hope if it starts happening.
No, but it's one of those. I started seeing changes after about 6 months.
Oh, so it
And
takes a while.
I would go to my barber shop, and my barber would like, yo, I couldn't do a hairline here because you got no hair. Now you do.
There you go.
And then I was like, yeah,
That's
but
good.
it's a lot of to-dos. Like, you got to get the shit.
I think
And if you stop, it falls off again.
so. It's an ongoing thing you have to be using. then.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it until I don't give a fuck anymore when I'm old enough.
Yeah. Well, we at a certain age, it's like I guess you can age gracefully into baldness.
Yeah, I think once I find my partner for life, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. There you
But
go.
until then, I didn't wear hats up until a year or two ago.
Same actually. That's weird. I was
Don't start. Don't
never.
start now.
You-
That means you're gonna have to get used to that, and when you go, that's a
Didn't that used to
precursor.
be an old kind of urban legend that like it was like a wives' tale thing where like if you wear a lot of hats, you start to lose your hair?
Yeah, because your hair doesn't breathe or some shit. No, I don't know.
I don't see that being a fact at all.
I just found
There's
it by
no
ass.
research
I'm
to
trying to
back
make you
that
feel
up.
bad, and hopefully you're in the same boat I am now. Like 3 years from
I
now.
want luscious locks my whole life. I don't. I already have a small head, like I just in proportion to normal people's heads.
Uh-huh.
Every time I've ever tried on somebody's hat, I gotta like clip it down. Like I gotta tighten it. I have a smaller than average head,
Mm-hmm.
and so without hair, I'm gonna look like I don't know, like an alien from Men in Black. Like it's not gonna be good.
True.
Yeah.
True. But
I need this. This is a selling point. I already have a hard enough time with women.
then let the hair flow then.
I should. I got the worst haircut of my fucking life like a week ago.
Okay, so when your hair goes back to
Yes, it'll be
a reasonable,
it'll be back.
you'll be like, all right, this is it. I'm done with hats.
Yeah, I don't prefer to wear hats. It's also when you have hair that is as long as mine because it was longer when I moved here, and I had kind of had like a McConaughey thing going on where I just push it back,
Oh, okay.
and that was fine. I was fine with that. I liked it, but if you don't spend a few minutes styling that and making sure it's like that, then you just look like a crazy person.
Yeah,
Like,
then you take the hat off and it looks like shit.
yeah, and wind is your enemy.
Oh, so you had like hair in the face type shit.
You had what?
Like hair
Oh
in the face.
yeah, it just not even in the
Oh.
face. You just know it's like it's just going straight up, and you look like an idiot. Like it's a whole. I wish I was just like cool and sage enough, like not to care and be like, hey, my hair is my hair, you know. But no, I'm just in a constant state of like dissociative, like looking at myself from like an out of body and like wondering what everyone thinks of me at all times. It's an awful place to be.
Did you have crazy haircuts when you were a kid?
Yeah,
Tell me you had the bowl cut.
I somehow had a bowl and a comb over at the same time. I don't know how that's even possible
Where's
or
the
legal.
Where's the how you call that thing in English?
The part?
Yeah, where is it? It's on the cocked to the side a little bit, or is it straight in the middle?
I don't remember. Oh, it was over here, I think, for sure, one of the sides. My mother was the only person to cut my hair all through school.
Bad
I never
idea.
went to a bar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I never went to a barber. She was always, she would always cut it every time. And so I just was at her mercy. I mean, and I never
The
had,
phone rings. Shit.
yeah. She didn't even know really how to cut hair. She just knew how to cut her children's hair and like her husband's hair. Like that was really it. Like
Oh, so also cut your dad's hair.
my stepdad. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm sure she cut my dad's hair when they were still married, but
That was just the thing. Like, if you're gonna be in his household, this is
I
I gotta cut your hair. If you can't,
she's
sorry.
a
fuck out.
frugal woman.
My dad cut my hair for a long time too, and it's black hair, so it's just, hey, here's clippers.
Right, there's a
and
limited
done.
amount of things you guys can really do with your. Well, not limited. You guys do some of the craziest shit with
No,
your hair.
we do. But my dad was like, "Look, I'm just gonna make it even. I'm not trying to edge up.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to give you sideburns. None of this shit."
Did you ever have an afro?
I did for a little bit. Actually, my favorite thing to do was mini dreads.
Mini dreads.
So
Like Snoop Dogg's thing?
no.
those are
So
cornrows.
like I would twist.
Oh,
So
okay.
I could actually do it myself. I would twist my hair, and it would stay like that. So it would take me about, I don't know, about half a day.
Oh my God.
No, but I'm doing it like seriously. I'm in the car. I'm twisting my hair.
You're just doing okay.
I'm at work. I'm twisting my hair. So I go to school. I twist my hair.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was all like that was. But my friends used to tell me, "Yo, if we were to make a statue of you, it would be you just twisting your hair and holding your drum necklace with your other hand. Like that's me. And I would walk around with half my hair done. I didn't give a shit. I'm like, this is the work.
Is half or mini dreads.
Yeah,
Half. That's great.
and it worked. And I didn't go to the barbershop or anything. I just did it myself. I didn't have to put any products, and it just worked. Maybe that's why I went bald, because I pulled on it so much, maybe up top, and my hair was thin. And then now it's.
I've always fucked with mine too. I twirl it. What is the connection with you and bongos? They're all over, and you have a bongo.
I'm from Africa.
That's just that's just it.
My uncle is a professional player, and he gave me a necklace when I was 9, and I wore it every day.
Is that the one?
No, this is my 4th.
Oh, okay.
And so, and I started, getting. I don't even play them.
Really? You have like 18.
I know I have different sizes, and this is where I fuck up, because when people ask me, "Oh, I love your djembe drums," so I'm like, I give you props for knowing what a djembe is.
Okay.
It's a West African drum. It's a specific type of drum. And they go, "Do you play?" And I go, not really. I should just say yes and just shut them up.
Yeah, sure.
That's how he's playing now. But my uncle, blah blah blah. I'm like, every time.
And I think you could get behind one of those and just start doing something. No one's gonna call you out for like, you don't play the.
No, I've had like percussionists.
Well, maybe
they're like,
I wouldn't do it around them.
Yeah, but they go
some stupid comics.
It's a djembe. Yeah,
it's like
no stupid comics go. Is that a mini pimp cup? Yeah, that's
a mini pimp cup.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it
is.
This is what Lil Jon used to carry around. That's exactly what that is. Yeah, and that's what I carry around my neck every day. But yeah, I've had this one for years, and I never take it off.
Okay.
Unless you sleep with me, you take a shower, I always have it on.
That's so I'll never.
No, you never get to see it.
I will always see you with it on. I'm never gonna get to experience that.
So you're telling me when the first time we talked, I think it was over at Luster Pearl. I think it was the first time we really.
Yeah. Oh yes, that is when we met, Luster Pearl.
Yep. So you've been in this game for a minute, but you had just gotten here
3 months ago to Austin. Yes.
Yeah. And so what? You came for comedy?
Yeah. That
like
was
primarily, it wasn't like
that was
girlfriend idea.
No, that would
get closer to the family.
That would require me.
You love barbecue.
Yeah. No.
Austin bitches are easy to get. I don't know.
Are they? I don't know.
No, they're not.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Me and women, it's tough. Yeah. No. I 100%. This move was purely for stand up. I don't even necessarily care for Austin that much. Like it's fine. I grew up in Phoenix. I think Phoenix is better. I think.
Oh shit! Shots fired.
I think it's just a more manicured, well put together city whose things work.
Austin is just trying to get his shit together.
It really is. This city is. It's like it's being. It's like I don't know who's running it, but they're ignoring it. Like it's. I don't. That doesn't matter. The city's fine. Food trucks, great.
Food trucks and bicycles.
Yeah, and fucking scooters.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I came here purely for comedy. I've been.
What's the scene like in Phoenix? Is it
when I was doing it? It's fine. It's like a diet version of this. I think there might be a mic every night of the week, maybe.
All like concentrated, or I don't know how big.
Very
Phoenix
spread
is.
out. Very spread out. Yeah, there'd be a mic in Scottsdale, and then there's a mic in downtown Phoenix, and there's a mic in Gilbert. There's a mic in Tempe. So it's you're jumping around. Yeah, and I thought that's what it would be here, and so I moved to North Austin, and then immediately found out that all the shows are in downtown or South Austin, so I have to drive 30 minutes no matter where I'm trying to do stand-up, which is a bummer. But I will remedy that when I move again, when my lease is up next June.
Oh, so you're not planning on staying?
Oh yeah, I'm staying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I don't have to love it here to like know that this is.
So you've done nothing Austin since you got here.
I've done nothing Austin
like Austin shit.
I waded in a river called the Greenbelt, which was fine. That was nice.
You're so jaded already. You act like you've been here 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got a river. They got food trucks. That's the thing, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
barbecue.
she brought this girl brought me to this real trendy. She's like, let's get gourmet biscuits and gravy from this food truck, and I had those. They were good, and then immediately had diarrhea. Um, almost shit my pants in my own car. And it was so it's fine. I came here for comedy.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm not giving you. Well, I am giving you shit for not doing anything else.
No, of
But
course. I don't know. I don't have time or money to do anything else. I blew all of my savings moving here.
oh,
Yeah, it dried up real quick, and so I'm just trying to be up on stage, and also the thing was, back in because I moved here from Ohio.
okay.
I was born in Ohio, raised in Phoenix. Like 2.5 years ago, I moved back to Ohio just to be close to my dad for a while, chill out. I was having problems drinking and wanted to, I don't know, I just had burned every bridge and kind of had no options left in Phoenix. And I was kind of forced to move back
Mm-hmm.
to Ohio where I had not lived or like been since I was a kid. And ended up in this just small rural town called Greenville in Ohio and just started doing stand-up there. Not in Greenville, but in Dayton. It's the closest town.
When you came back to Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't start doing stand-up there. I just mean I started doing stand-up there when I got there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I started in Phoenix.
Yeah, I was about to say you told me you've been doing it for a minute.
Since I think I went up the first time I ever did stand-up was 2013. I think I was 19, so I think it was 2013. Yeah, would have had to have been.
What was the click? Like, what made you think you could just
do it? I mean, I knew I was in love with stand-up comedy, and I always wanted to do it from the time I was in elementary school. It was like 5th or 6th grade. Somebody handed me a CD because my dad had shown me Stephen Wright, and I know I liked Stephen Wright.
King of one-liners, man.
Yes. So I knew I was interested in stand-up comedy. I think I was also at the time I have a lot of my childhood and growing up. I don't remember a lot of it. I don't know why.
So you had a drinking problem, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, not when I was 10.
yeah, but some of the memories go away.
Give me an IPA. No. It was, I'd been kind of dipping the toe into I just started to realize at a young age I enjoyed stand-up comedy. And then it had to have been 6th grade. 6th or 7th, I think. A friend of my mom's who knew I liked stand-up, handed me a burnt CD that in permanent marker on it just said Brian Regan.
Oh, interesting.
It was his Brian Regan Live 99 album.
Mm-hmm.
It changed my life. I went to bed listening to that album for probably a year and memorized every inch of it and, every line of it, and would just do it to kids at school and shit. And
is that the one with Moosin?
Yep. Yeah. Take luck.
Yeah.
It's
good luck.
One of the best. Take luck and care.
Yeah.
Take care of the luck that you're having.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the best albums of all time. And then freshman year of high school, I don't remember if I found Mitch Hedberg before or after, but the 3 comics that are why I do stand up probably. If I had to narrow it down, it's Brian Regan, Mitch Hedberg, and Dane Cook. For sure. It's very trendy to talk shit on Dane Cook, but the fact of the matter is he was the biggest stand-up in the world
at that
for
time,
several years.
Yeah.
And Harmful If Swallowed is one of the best comedy albums ever produced. It's stop to start one of the funniest pieces of material that has ever fucking been made. And then Retaliation, his next album, was a double album. 2 separate hours he recorded in the same night. Killed.
No, he was a beast back then.
He was the best comic in the world.
You had the Sufi thing. You were doing the fingers.
Oh, what was it? Is it this? Is that? I think it was. I think it's this.
Yeah. It's like a tuna pink and.
Yeah, I never got that. I don't know how that started. I don't know if that's his thing.
I don't know, but when he built the website, that was
that what it
thing.
is? Oh, okay, yeah. And then but then Mitch Hedberg, Mitch altogether.
Did you follow his tour that he had with Robert Kelly? It was Robert Kelly, Dan Cook. I don't remember who else was on that tour.
I think he like filmed it, didn't he? It was
yeah,
like a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
series.
There was a whole documentary about it.
Gary Goldman was on that tour for a minute,
yes.
and he had to leave.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I listened to a lot of Robert Kelly shit,
Okay.
and then he talks about the tour a lot, and
I remember it's like it was the In Something tour. Infamous.
now I gotta look it up because it's gonna piss me off.
I know. I think it starts with IN, the In Something tour. No, I remember that. But yeah, that's so like I knew I wanted to do stand up. But I never really pulled the trigger on it. I left high school playing music, and then
Oh, I took the music route.
yeah, well, my brother and my dad are both professional musicians, and
Torgasm.
Torgasm. So I was
2005.
completely wrong. But yeah, so I also was obsessed with movies and writing. I think I started writing scripts when I was like 13. I'm not saying they were good, but that's just when I started writing. And I had been like 19, 19, and I started writing sketches and little comedy shorts, and then I wrote like this web series. That's how long ago that was, when web series were a legitimate form of entertainment. Now it's streaming. Everything's a web series now.
Yeah.
They took over. But yeah, I wrote like a pilot episode for a thing, and met my now writing partner. We've been working together for probably like 8 years. He moved out here with me.
Oh, that's who I met.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah. He was there that night.
No,
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Jared.
And yeah, we met. I don't think that pilot ever got finished, but we were in the middle of doing it, and then went to. His brother was shooting a movie, and needed help on production, so Jared left to do that, and then I ended up as an actor in that movie. And
you have an IMDb page?
No, I don't have anything legitimate that proves I am in any way an entertainer. I don't.
Okay, before you remedy your car situation and driving around, you might want to start a website or some shit. Because you've got some shit.
Fucking just see me live. It's I know. I just hate it. I don't like you do Instagram sketches. No, how about that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you already sound like a disgruntled comic.
I know. It's just I fucking hate it. I don't like that I have to like.
It's just to do. Like,
yes.
it becomes a job. I mean, there are people who get paid to just do that.
100%.
And be like, all right, you take care of the Instagram.
Yeah, I need to
You're
get
the
better.
content creator. You got to write blogs. You got to go on IG Live. You got to do a dance on TikTok. Like, no, you got time for this.
I wish I had any sort of drive to want to like pull out my phone and be like, let's do like a funny Instagram thing. I don't give a shit. Like, I want to craft my jokes. I want to write scripts. I've written thousands of pages in my life. Like of scripts. I'm not saying they're all good, but I have put in the fucking time. Like, I have like written thousands of fucking pages of dialogue, of scripts, of sketches, of fucking movies that never finished, and and all this other shit. Like, I have been putting in that work, but it's like, oh well, what can I see something that you made? It's like, no. Like, we've made like a couple things, and like maybe you can go see it, and but mostly I've worked on other people's things. And we're trying to remedy that here now, to where we have like our own little studio set up in our apartment. We'd like to start shooting a lot of stuff out here. We got a feature script that we'd like to, eventually get money for to make ourselves, and that kind of requires proving to people that we can make things.
If it's on the internet, if it's on the internet, it's like it doesn't exist.
But
I don't care how great you are.
Yeah, but also that script and everything, that's not really that's I wrote it with with Jared, but it's not really my place to talk about it on a public platform. But
that's fine.
Yeah, I just I like. I knew I wanted to do stand-up. I met a guy on that movie, Aaron Kyle Miles. I think he's still doing stand-up in Phoenix. And Jared had already been back then. I'm like 19 years old. He's pushing me to do. He's like, dude, you gotta try stand-up, dude. You gotta try stand-up. And then Aaron was already kind of. It was like his first year of stand-up too. I think he had just started. And then he hit me up out of the blue one day and was like, hey, I'm hosting a show at the Ice House in Phoenix in a month. You're on it. Get a set together. I was like, fuck.
So you had to prepare. At least it wasn't one of those, hey, I think I'm funny. Let me get up there and wing it.
Yeah, no, it was someone basically forcing me to do it. And
sometimes you got a little kick in the ass just to get started on shit.
I put a set together.
How long? 3 minutes?
It was 5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
That's huge that's a lot for a first time.
Yeah,
It goes by real slow if you're not doing well.
Yeah. I don't even remember how good. Jared was there. He filmed the first time I ever did stand up. I'm sure that footage exists on a hard drive somewhere. But
it doesn't. It's not on the internet, so it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not on the internet, so it's not real. Doesn't actually exist unless YouTube says it does.
Right.
And yeah, that was the first time I did stand up. And then
How'd you feel?
good.
You got off and you're like, wow, this is dope. I could do this again.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still doing it.
I didn't go. It was a weird. The place is called the Ice House, I realized, for a reason, and that is because it's like a narrow bar, like a narrow room, and then one half, like behind the bar, where there's usually maybe like a mirror or something, it's just big plexiglass. That on the other side is an active hockey rink with a hockey game going on while I'm doing stand up. And
okay.
It's not like open air to it. It's like, there's a roof in our building and everything, but just right across, like right behind the bar is just a fucking hockey game. And like, I'm in the middle of a joke, somebody gets shoulder checked into the fucking.
They could bump into the plexiglass?
Oh yeah. Like, yeah. And so, I mean, I would love to see that footage.
A little bit about myself.
Yeah.
Penalty.
Yeah, I didn't even know the rules of hockey. I'm like, instigating or whatever.
Yes. They get to fight now, I guess. Everybody watch.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. Just look at the game.
But I remember not being. It went fine. I doubt I did really well, and I don't think I bombed. I don't even really remember. But I did keep doing it, and then started doing long form improv a year or so later, and started more focusing on improv for a good year or so. Did stand up probably a spattering of times throughout my course of doing long form. I was also drinking a lot.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
No, we don't have.
It's whatever. It's a big part of my life.
No, that's fine. How bad did it get?
When I've been to the hospital for alcohol withdrawal. I thought I was
withdrawal, not like poisoning.
No, withdrawal. I thought I was having a heart attack. I didn't know what was happening, and I went to the ER, and they did an EKG and everything, and then the doctor looked at my chart. He's like, "Do you really drink this much?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like I was drinking. I had to buy I was living alone, and I would buy a fifth of whiskey every 24 hours. That's just how I would drink. It was almost a competition with myself.
You had nothing else going on that would keep you from doing it?
No, apparently I was doing stand-up at the time too.
Oh, okay. That goes hand in hand. If you said I had a job or I was taking classes or I was thinking.
No, I had a job, but I was also losing jobs left and right because I wouldn't wake up, and it was a nightmare. Like from 23 to about 25 was just. I was already drinking heavily before that, but when it got to I can just drink whiskey straight, and I can and drink 3/4 of a bottle in a night by myself, just watching shit, and smoking a fucking pack of cigarettes, while I do it.
Dude, keep going like that. You're bald. It's very.
Yeah.
This is another fact I just pull out of my ass.
I'm sure.
Drink and smoke a lot, then your hair will fall out.
Right? That should be incentive enough to get me to stop drinking.
Yeah, right.
So it was bad, and then I went from the bottle to I would buy 2 pints. I moved, and so I didn't have access to fifths right around the corner. It was a gas station that sold pints, so I just buy 2 pints, and I would drink both of those in a night after work, and it was just bad. I'm still very addicted to alcohol. But I'm not drinking like.
Now I remember you were talking. You were walking around with a flask in your.
I was walking around with a flask. First time you met me.
You're like, "What would I want?" It's like, "You want to drink?" I was like, "Hey, Ben, you want to drink?" He goes, "No, I got one right here in my pocket.
I got
man.
a flask.
I got a flask." I'm like, "Oh, you're that guy."
Yeah.
Walking to the bar like I got my own. Shit.
I tell myself and others that it's to avoid bar tabs.
Sure.
It's just because I'm an alcoholic on the go, Jim Gaffigan.
I ain't got time to stop and order, close my tab, all that shit. It's just too much time. I can just reach into my pocket.
I've stopped doing that, by the way, because it was counterproductive. It wasn't stopping bar tabs. It just made me want to drink more.
Yeah. So, but when you're out. What do you do? Do you go?
I have to. It's discipline. I mean, I got to a point in my life. I had to move to Ohio. I had to move back where I was fucking born, like because I lost my job and my housing in the same like month. Both definitely alcohol related. Like didn't wake up on time to make a staff meeting at work, and that was kind of the last straw for them. I was already drinking on the job. I was working at a pool hall as a server, and I was already a regular.
Conducive.
Yeah, and I was a regular of that pool hall before, which was just me playing pool for like 6 to 8 hours, drinking nothing but double whiskeys the entire time. Like, and apparently I was a decent pool player. I don't remember, but
Fuck that out too.
yeah, dude. And and it just got to the point where I didn't have a place to live. Jared knew I was in no condition to like let me live with him.
Yeah.
Like he was like, that's not. He's like, you can stay here for this period of time, but like you need to be able to leave. And he was the one that was like, hey, you should probably call your dad. You should probably
go back.
Yeah, and I'm like I was doing things where despite my personal life crumbling beneath me because of drinking, I was doing like character work for like this show that shot in LA. So I had been
Tell
going.
me you had a drunk character.
No, he was he drank for sure. His name was Dale the Dude. It was for a show called the Movie Trivia Schmodown. And it's like movie trivia, but they kind of dress it up like the WWE almost. It's whatever. But I was doing like a thing for them, and I was like, dude, I'm like starting to do stuff in LA, like
like doing shows.
Not stand up yet. I knew a guy out there, Mark Ellis, who was like he was a regular at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
So it was a good guy to know. But it was just I was being able to go out to LA to do, character stuff and whatever. And he's like, move back to Ohio. He's like, you gotta like, what else are you gonna do? And I'm like, I can't fucking. It's like the opposite direction of the dream, dude. Like,
what are you doing to me?
Fucking,
it's right there.
Yeah. And so, but I had to, and I had to fucking tell myself, I'm like, there's a reason I'm here. There has to be. And I really think there was, because I got out there. It got, my drinking didn't go down. It did a little bit because I didn't necessarily have access to like you can't buy liquor at a gas station in Ohio. You have to go to an actual liquor store. You can't just walk to the gas station. You can, but they can't sell anything above 21% alcohol.
I don't know what it is here. You can't buy. They can't buy liquor. You can buy like wine and beer.
Wine and beer. That's the same there too. But yeah, you can't just in Arizona. You can walk in and just get a pint of or a fifth of fucking Jameson at a Circle K. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not.
I think that's.
It's convenient but deadly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I forget what the point of this was, but.
You got your shit together by moving back to Ohio with your dad.
It did. Yeah, I read. I just realized I needed to fucking stop. My brother got sober. And he was just as bad as I was. Get this, the week I went to the ER for alcohol withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
In South Carolina, across the fucking country where he was living at the time, he also went to the ER for alcohol withdrawal.
Is it a family thing?
Within the same week of each other.
Was your dad also a...
No, I mean, he drank, but not to where it was ever a problem.
Oh, shit.
Where anyone noticed. I think me and my brother just... We were raised Jehovah's Witnesses, and...
There you go.
And our parents... Our parents split at a young age, and that really affected him a lot more than I think it did me at the time, because he was 12, I was 4. So, like, I've blocked out a lot of half of my fucking just upbringing. He, I think, really it spiraled him into... He still is a very just tentative... He's a very talented, genius guy, but fucked up. Like,
hey, every genius is fucked up somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they all are. I mean,
but I saw him get sober.
Oh,
and then he
did he go through the steps, the program?
No, willpower. And
did you did willpower?
No,
you're still drinking, so
I
it's not
tried.
really...
Yeah, no, I'm still drinking. It's just not a detriment to my life right now. Most nights.
Catch me there that Friday.
Yeah,
show.
Exactly. Except, like, 2 weeks ago, and I had a $78 bar tab at Vulcan. I was like, this is a mistake.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Oh.
I bought Lucas McQuarrie. A beer and a shot. So
Drunk Lucas is funny as fuck.
really,
Yeah.
I haven't been around. I don't think I've
Yes.
been around him drunk. I was around Hans Kim.
Hans Kim fucked up is also
Yeah,
funny.
Hans Kim's fucked up. I saw him on acid like 2 nights ago. That was
I haven't
hilarious.
seen it.
Yeah, no, he just kept wanting to. he just kept wanting to fan this fire with a piece of cardboard. It's like all he wanted to do for like an hour.
Y'all were camping or something?
No, we were just in Riley Gilmore's backyard.
Oh.
And
Yeah, I don't hang out.
neither do I. It was the first time I'd like been invited to go do anything, and
Oh.
I with like a group of comics out here, and I was like, I need to be more.
They're your age. You can just hang out with friends.
I'm still the oldest one
Make some
out of
friends.
them. I
Huh?
believe I'm still the oldest one out of them. I believe.
Shit. I don't want to show up.
I know. Hans is, I think, around my age though.
Yeah, Hans around.
He's like, 20.
30. I think he's 31.
He's older than me.
I think so.
Oh well, there you go.
It doesn't matter. He probably looks the same for.
Yeah,
30
well,
years.
that's Asians. They look the same age, and then one day they just look like Yoda.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how Asians age.
It's fine. It's fine right now. But yeah, even Lucas is. I mean, they're all young, and I'm like, do I want to be? We were talking about earlier. Being around a bunch of 20-year-olds kind of scares the shit out of me.
A little bit. I also you can really get addicted to the hang, and lose focus of
That is true.
your material. I'm out here to fucking kill. I'm out here.
You're hustling.
Yes, I'm not out. And this sounds bad, but it's like I'm not out here to make friends. I'm not out here to be.
All right, show's over, everybody. Thank you for coming, Ben. I appreciate you.
That's just not the way I came
I'm not
out
looking
here.
for friends either.
No, it's like no,
They happen or they don't.
no, and that's like I said, it comes off.
I'm just giving you
a
shit.
dickish way, but it's like I am out here to be successful at what I have spent the last 7 years trying to do.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years, in particular, the most I've ever done it in my
Mhm.
life. When I was out in the Midwest, and that's why I said really had to tell myself when I fucking moved back to Ohio, I'm like, there has to be a reason I'm fucking out here, and I did. I did. I watched my brother get sober. I quit drinking. I read David Goggins' book.
Oh, that will wake you up.
Dude, let me fucking tell you something.
Dude, I hear about. I mean, of course, I found out about him through Rogan.
Yeah.
And the way he talks, and I saw there's a little like a quick 5-minute piece that I saw on YouTube about his life and where he comes from and what he's accomplished.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, you're in a bitch, and I love the way he talks.
Yeah,
it's like
great. Yeah,
if that doesn't light some fire under your ass, I don't know what will.
yeah.
Like he's a drill sergeant you always wanted to have.
He really is, dude. And listen, I have no interest in being a long distance runner.
Yeah.
But and that's a lot of what he does and what his personal experience is about. But the way that book is written, it doesn't matter what I needed to insert discipline in my life, and it has been something I had been avoiding my entire from 18. I had to leave the house at 18 because again, raised Jehovah's Witness. My mom, it was just like, hey, you either are with this or you're not. I had to go, and I had just been a fucking loser from 18 to 25, just losing jobs. I've had probably over 20 jobs. Living on couches in my car, futons, and never addicted to drugs or anything. I somehow avoided that.
Wow.
It
I
was-
was about to ask, what was the step above?
No, I've done, I had a period where I did coke a fair amount, but I was never buying it, and but I've never fucked with heroin. I have no interest in pills. I'll smoke weed from time to time, and I like
alcohol's
to
your
drink.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a fucking killer. But I had just been a fucking loser, and which I think is my biggest fear in life is just being a fucking loser, and I just needed some fucking discipline in my life, and I didn't know, and I didn't even think I realized that at the time, but I read Goggins' book, and people, Rogan is a polarizing figure, but the fact of the matter is, if you're a comedian and you've moved to Austin, Texas in the last year, it's because of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Whether or not you want to admit that is up to you.
Yeah.
But hearing that dude talk about ownership of yourself and being disciplined, what it is to be a man, and then reading David Goggins' book, those two dudes are the reason I'm not a pile of shit wasting away in Ohio. And then I started doing stand up again more than I'd ever had. I was by the time I left Ohio, I was headlining showcases doing 25 minutes.
Wow.
It was more time than I'd ever done as a comic, and it was more consistent than I'd ever done as a comic. Shout out to Kyle Buck, Indianapolis comic, and Anderson, Indiana. puts on the best shows out there. Kyle Buck. Check out Uncle Buck's House podcast. And yeah, I got myself to where I was going to be. I was going to move to LA. 2020 happened. And
you moved to.
I was like, let's roll the dice on Austin, which is what we're all doing out here. Again, any comic that moved here in the last year, we are all standing around the same craps table right now. It's a gamble. That's why we're here. We believe in it.
And you moved to a drinking town. This is great.
Yes. Yes.
Austin knows
I
how to
moved.
drink, man.
I moved to a town where alcohol is readily available.
We have the most bars per capita than anywhere else.
That's fine. That's just a more.
Actually, I don't know now because a lot of them shut down. But the thing is, we're known for. I mean, we're a party town. We have the biggest university in the country.
One really.
One of the biggest. Yeah. When I was there, we're already at 70,000.
70,000.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes, it was a little city.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what it is now, but it's probably as big, if not.
I don't know what's big. I never did college. I don't know if that's big or not.
No, I mean it's huge. And you're like, okay, we're a college town, and now we have all these people moving here that got money. So what they spend their money, they're on entertainment. So they want to go to shows, they want to do festivals, they want to do VIP shit, they want to, experience Austin and all that good stuff. And like, well, that costs money, and everything you're gonna do is gonna be some drinking involved. So.
Yeah, I am fine with drinking. It is, but there needs to be discipline put in there. It's just moderation. It comes down to moderation.
No, it is, and tell you what, I mean, I grew up in France, and the fact that, and I've said this before, but I think it's good to reiterate it, like the idea that everything has to be like the biggest, the best, and everything's over the top. Like when I hear guys go, "I'm getting fucked up tonight," like, yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Anywhere else in the world, it's like, yeah, we're gonna hang out and there's gonna be drinking involved, but we don't make it a mission,
right,
to actually get fucked up. And then when you do the math, and trust me, I was that kid that was going out 7 nights a week. In my 20s in Austin, I was that kid, and drinking was never, to me, it wasn't about the drinking. It was about the music, it's about the dancing,
the environment.
The environment. I just loved it. Like the what I felt being at, not even a bar, just a place where there's music playing, was just, I loved it. And so, but people who like, yeah, I'm gonna get downtown around 11 o'clock, right? Because shit opens around 10 o'clock. So I'm going to get down there about 11. I'm going to go there with a group of friends. So it'll be like five or six of us, right? And we're going to get fucked up. And so, but the thing is, we have to wait in line before we go in the bar. And then once we're in the bar, we have to, get our first round. And then you take away all the logistics of being out in a group where you got to, round up people before you go to the next spot. And then you got to open your tab, close the tab, order a drink. Really, you have about an hour and a half of solid partying.
Yeah.
By 2 o'clock.
In between hurting people.
Yeah, hurting people, and then, talking or hanging out. So, and it's cheap. Like when I was going out in Austin, when I first started going out, and I brought my friends from France here, and they were like, yo, I can get fucked up with $10 because they had dollar you call it at some places.
Really?
Like,
that just seems dangerous.
No, dude, it was 25 cents Long Island iced tea. It was like that type of shit. And then like, yeah, with $10 and you get fucked up. In France, you probably drop 120 by the time you're buzzed a little bit. Yeah. And so Austin's always been known for that, like 7 nights a week. And, but everything's got to be, big. But over there, it's like, yeah, we're just hanging out. If I happen to get fucked up, we do. But I think it's because it's the 21-year-old shit.
Yeah, well, that's never more present than when you're in your early 20s, for sure, when it becomes a thing you can do. I also, there's, I'm new to the scene here for about the last 3 months, and I'm like I've kind of finally broken through where I can like walk into pretty much any mic, and people know who I am now. There's face recognition, there's high fives and fist bumps. Yeah. All that shit, which is nice.
That's the thing I learned. Is like, fist bump now.
Yeah,
not even a COVID thing. It's just a thing.
No, that's what people do.
Yeah.
And I do. Going back to, I'd like to also address my comments about how I'm not here to make friends. that sounded dickish, and what I meant was I do want to be friends with other comics, of course.
He wants to be loved like everybody else. Just
I
give
do.
show him some love.
I need a
When
hug.
you see Ben, give him a hug. Don't give him a fist bump.
I need a hug.
Give him a hug. A big hug with like 2 pats on the back
I
and
just
a kiss on the cheek.
what I meant was I didn't move here with the intent to party with people.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yes, I moved here to fucking take my shit to the next level. But on the thing that I do want to be, I think everyone wants to be respected by their peers and everything. And there is something on me in the back of my mind now that every time I go, everywhere we perform, there is alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, don't get like fucked up around these people. Like, people don't forget that. People don't forget you're the drunk dude.
Yeah.
And like, and that's something I always keep in the back of my head.
You were that one time.
What's that?
You were that guy before.
Yes.
The drunk dude in the
100%.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
but there is a certain lifestyle that's been attributed to the comics life.
For sure. And
Which-
getting fucked up is a part of
nothing new.
that.
Yeah, this is nothing new. It's like
Yeah.
you
Getting
get
fucked
into
up is
comedy-
a part of that, for
you
sure.
get into comedy because you're, and I'm very, this is a caricature. I'm not saying everybody, that's the case for everybody. But there is this idea, you had some either trauma or you have some issues and you're like, comedy is quote unquote my therapy. This is how I get over shit. This is how I express myself. And, I look like shit. I'm not that good looking. So but every girl likes the funny dude. So I'm gonna be the funny dude, and I'm gonna get into comedy. I'm gonna stay up late. I'm gonna hang out with the boys, try to get, and I'll get some pussy after shows, and then sleep all day, wake up, and do it again. That's a caricature of the comics life. And some
Yes.
people, it crushes people. Some of them, but
What
some people
you're-
get out of it.
What you're omitting from that, cycle of a story is the day job,
If you have one,
which you kind of need.
yeah,
one.
you do. You do.
It's like
It's a shitty job, regardless. It's like a means to,
Yeah.
and like I gotta eat. So I'll be a bartender. I'll do, I'll work security at a parking lot.
which is also again, it's like that's also putting on you. It's like you can't get hammered every time you're going out to do stand up when your alarm is going off in the morning because you have to be at a job
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, you would think. I spent a lot of time not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. You would think so. I was gonna ask you, but you said you were a film guy too.
Yeah. It's if I could just do two things with my life, it would be stand up and movies. That's it.
Like producing, like you watch other shit and be like, okay, that movie's dope, like a Ebert kind of thing when you start reviewing stuff. Like you have a critical eye when it comes to movies.
I mean, I do just personally, but I would never want to
Share your thoughts. On
No,
movies.
not really. I want to make movies. I want to write and act.
What was the last movie you saw that you thought was dope?
I thought was good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You have to think back, or is it there's too many to pick from?
And I have to think back. The last movie I saw that was like, fuck yeah. I don't even. You know what? That Mortal Kombat movie was not bad.
You said not bad. You didn't say.
Oh, that's okay.
I didn't even bother. Honestly, I did not even bother.
I don't know the source material, so I wasn't going into it.
Oh, you're not familiar with the Mortal Kombat?
No, like so from the eye of someone who has never cared for, I'm aware of the game, but I never played it. I'm not a video game guy.
Okay.
And
all right, that's all the time we have.
Yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
I'm just striking out like everywhere. Like I don't play video games. That's just it's. As I've gotten older, I'm amazed how many people. That's a big section of their life is video games.
I have a PS2, 3, and 4, and then
I
Xbox,
saw that you got the
Xbox.
games up there. I'm just obsessed with. I'm obsessed with what I'm trying to do.
No,
And
all power to you, by all means. And I can
Yeah,
I totally understand that you're so focused on one thing that everything else is just a distraction at that point.
Kind of. It's
And I get that.
Unless
don't get me wrong. Unless
yeah.
you're gonna play esports and compete or get on Twitch and get paid for it,
I have
what's
no.
the point of spending 3
I have
hours
no like
and
that.
play Ghost of Tsushima like I did yesterday?
Yeah, I have no interest in playing video games. I totally get why people do. I've played Call of Duty. It's fucking rad. Like, I get it. Like,
You
like,
sound like an old man.
dude,
Oh, these kids in their video games. I don't.
also,
get it.
yeah, I'm referencing like a video game that's like 10 years old, like
Yeah,
Call
no
of Duty
shit.
Black Ops. Like that's the last I think game
You
I
ever said
played.
Fortnite? I would have given you brownie points.
I don't even understand how that game works. There's like a bunch of cartoon characters jumping around with weird hair and
They're
fucking,
building stairs in
yeah,
thin
what?
air.
Yeah, I don't. That
And then
game
they
makes
get-
no sense.
They jump from a plane.
Game is a sham.
It works.
I guess.
I don't either. I don't play that shit.
I
I'm an
have
old
no
school guy,
idea.
too.
I have no idea. I have no frame of reference for that. But
What you say in the movie Mortal Kombat?
right, yeah, I liked that. I don't know, man. I got my hits. I can't remember the last one that really stuck out as like that's. Oh, you know what? There's this movie with the guy that played from Game of Thrones.
Which one?
Uh,
Jamie?
Yes, Jamie Lannister's character. I forget his. In the moment, I can't remember his name.
Nicholas Landau. Some
Nicholas
shit.
Coster-Waldau.
Yeah, that there.
Some,
What
a
Landau?
version of that.
Yeah.
Jamie
Jamie Lannister, y'all.
yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
He was in a movie called like King of something.
I heard about it. Never watched it.
It was Nikolai Costa-Waldau. Okay, it's not happening. It's a movie on Netflix. I forget the name of it. It's like it's a prison movie. He like goes to prison. And that I remember it looks like one of those movies that you just kind of like pass over on Netflix.
Yes, it wasn't a big.
That you're just, yeah,
it was-
exactly.
It wasn't trending or anything.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay. And it actually is really good. He's like a dude that like goes to prison and then basically gets it. He was like he like went into prison because he was clean for like ever. He was like not a criminal or anything. He just like got in like a car accident and ended up killing the person that was a passenger in his car, and he involuntary manslaughter. He like goes to prison, basically gets involved in criminal activity like in prison to survive, and then like gets out, and it's just crazy. And basically like takes over a whole criminal empire. It's actually very good.
Okay.
And that guy's a pretty solid actor too. Yeah, I don't know. What about you? Movies.
Shit.
That was like the last one. I have, believe me, a list of my favorites, but I'm trying to think of the last movie.
The last one I saw, I just watched the new Suicide Squad over the weekend.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
The James Gunn one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like superhero movies because I think it's the same shit. All the Marvel movies are the same, like that Shang-Chi, whatever is coming out.
Again, I could care less about that movie. I liked all the Marvel movies up to Endgame. I liked that. I liked those. That's the chunk. That's like Star Wars for me. I like all of the numerical Star Wars from New Hope to Last Jedi to Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
which was mediocre. But I love the chronological Star Wars saga. I like that. I even liked Rogue One. It's probably in my top 3 Star Wars movies for sure. It's one of the best Star Wars movies made. I like that. Now it's like, oh, Taika Waititi's making a new Star Wars trilogy. Like, about fucking what? Like, I don't.
No, they
care.
have what ifs now. Did you see that shit?
About what?
They have like Marvel what ifs.
Marvel what ifs.
It's like episodes of what if Black Panther met this other. I don't know.
They are beating a dead horse,
But they
because
can.
it spits out money. Like that's all it is.
We have Fast and Furious 10. They're always
Yeah,
gonna
so
come up with new shit.
I'm like that too. I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to Endgame, where that story ended. There you go. You want to do more series now? You want to make more movies? Do it. Don't expect me to give a shit.
So the thing with the Suicide Squad, what is DC?
Right, that's DC.
That's
I
DC.
love both of them. I'm cool with superheroes.
I didn't expect it to be funny.
Oh, I mean
That's what
the
I mean.
trailer.
I can't say I'm a big like James Gunn. What's his name? That's James.
Yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah, I'm like he's a great director. Blah blah blah. I'm like
He's
one of
made
the-
some good ones.
I'm just going into it thinking, okay, there's this criminals they would give them their superpowers and then they send them on a mission and we hope that they don't make
Did
it.
you see the original one?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
The Will Smith one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Fine.
didn't.
It's whatever. It was,
But it was like, okay, there's some funny shit in there. But I never go into. Put it this way, I watch trailers,
right. Yeah.
and most trailers I can tell actually most trailers actually tell you exactly what's gonna happen. They made trailers longer now to where like, okay, what the fuck would I need to go
That's
see it?
Did you watch the new Spider-Man trailer?
Yeah.
That's basically they showed you a whole scene from the movie, basically with the spell and shit. You're like, I don't need to go watch this fucking movie now. I know what I get it. Like,
Yeah, so
Jesus.
no, but that's what they do now, and then they'll do they'll do the teasers, they do the trailer, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, what's the point? So I never go into a movie thinking it's gonna be dope.
Right? Yeah, because they've showed
Never.
you half of it
No,
beforehand.
even if I don't watch the trailer, but there's just so much hype around it. Even Black Panther, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. I'm African too.
You're like their target audience. You were like, whatever.
Yeah, it's what's the country name? Wakanda. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Whatever. I'll go check it out just out of curiosity, I guess. But I don't get excited about movies like I used to.
Yeah, no. I remember the last time I was just genuinely stoked on a movie. I really couldn't remember what it was. I remember the feeling I got the first time I saw The Raid Redemption, which is an Indonesian film.
Oh, I mean, so like you have to know your shit to watch that.
No, it actually got really popular over here.
What year?
It was a while ago.
Like 90s?
No, not 90s. This was it had to have been 2010, 11,
Raid
12.
Redemption?
Yeah, The Raid Redemption, and then they made a second one, just Raid 2. And very, very good. These dudes, it's like the best fight movie I've ever seen in my life. It's just these dudes raiding this like 14-story building to get to the guy at the top, and it's like a big drug building, and it's just, dude, it's the best choreographed fights I've ever seen in any fucking movie ever.
Really?
Yes. The dudes, the group is called Marantau Pictures. Their first movie they ever made was called Marantau, and yeah, they're all Indonesian and Asian actors.
Well, they don't have the choreography there.
Dude, it's the craziest fighting I've ever seen. So good. They reused a lot of people. Actually, the two of the main dudes in those movies were like cameos in Star Wars movies. They've gotten very popular. They're just very, very good.
Oh,
at what they
shit.
do. And yeah, I remember just the feeling I got watching this movie of just losing my fucking mind. Oh, like just how good like some of the shit was great. You watch a movie that just surprises you.
That's the thing. Like, cause I have a genre of movie that like always gets me. It's the, hey, we're not gonna tell you everything up front, and then there'll be a twist, and you'll be like, oh shit, okay. I mean, the best example is Usual Suspect, of course.
Sure. Lucky Number 11.
Dude, yes. Not a lot of people know about that shit.
No one knows about that fucking movie.
No. Oh,
it's in my top
God.
5. Like, dude, Lucky Number 11 is one of the best movies ever fucking made.
I can't. I've watched it maybe 3 times, and last time was maybe like 3 years ago out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, this is so fucking good.
Movie's incredible.
Oh yes, if you haven't watched Lucky Number 11, go check it out. Morgan Freeman's in it.
Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley,
Bruce
Willis.
That's right.
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Who's the kid?
His name is Josh Hartnett.
Wow. Yeah, go check it out. Lucky Number. See, that's the kind of shit I like.
Yes.
Or there was another one that was very underrated. It was called Vantage Point. Remember that?
Vantage Point.
With Dennis
Quaid.
Yes.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yes.
Yes, that movie's great.
And I'm like, okay, here's a simple premise. We're going to take, I think it was like 20 minutes of a sequence.
Basically, and just show it from a bunch of different perspectives.
Yeah, from like 10 different perspectives.
And we're going to solve it
every time.
Yes, we're going to solve it as we're seeing these different perspectives. Great fucking movie.
See, this is the kind of shit I like. Like Memento. One of my all-time favorites. Snatch is still one of my top.
The movie's great.
And I'm like, okay, you have different stories. You don't know how they link up. And next thing you know, you go, oh, shit, okay.
A movie that a lot of people slept on that is one of my favorites, I can watch, it's so rewatchable, is a movie called The Nice Guys.
That's
Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Set in the 70s.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember the twist in it. What was the whole...
It's not really a twist. It's more of just a detective story, and these two dudes have to kind of team up to solve this case.
It reminded me of... what's the Val Kilmer one with Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yes.
That's because they're both directed by Shane Black.
Oh shit! Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Both of those
Like,
movies are
it's the
directed by
same-
Shane
oh,
Black.
okay, that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense now. See, I don't mind those. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
no, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a phenomenal movie. I read, by the way, I'm giving away my share dope shit thing. I'll save it to the end. Val Kilmer's one of my favorite people. I love Val
About to
Kilmer.
talk about the documentary. Was that your dope shit?
No, it's his book actually. But
Oh,
you should
okay.
actually, watch the documentary too. I watched the book, or I watched.
You watched the book.
I
then?
watched the book.
We all watch
I
books.
set it on my coffee table like I'm gonna watch the shit out
and
of
it
you.
flips by itself.
I read his book before the documentary even was a thing.
How fucked up is he? Like, what's the?
He has throat cancer. He can't talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
did
he
not
wrote
know
the book
that.
after that happened. Like so,
that's what the book is about.
the book's called "I'm Your Huckleberry." It just kind of navigates where he was in his life through childhood to all of his projects,
Mm-hmm.
but not really talking about the projects themselves. It's more where he was in his life at the time, and his relationship to God, and his relationship with women, and
Mm-hmm.
where he was in his personal life. He's a very deep guy, and I would have never assumed that. But Val Kilmer is my favorite Batman, and Batman Forever is like the best Batman movie. I don't care what anyone says.
Not the Dark Knight.
Okay,
I don't care for Christian Bale.
like yeah.
I care for the who played the Joker,
Heath Ledger. Yeah, fine. It's like yes, it's a great Batman movie. But I'm sorry, Batman Forever. You've got Jim Carrey
as the Riddler
and Tommy Lee Jones as
and
Two-Face.
Schwarzenegger.
Well, that was the one that sucked. That was when George Clooney was Batman.
Oh, my bad. Yes, you're
yeah,
right.
that
You're
was.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, it's time to freeze. Get out of there. Shut up. Ice to meet you. It's like be quiet.
Really, that was a lie.
Well, yeah, dude, it was nothing but cold puns. The whole fucking movie. Ice to meet you.
So bad.
Chill out. It's like okay.
Get in the freezer.
So ridiculous. That was his thing. He loved catchphrases. After Terminator, he realized catchphrases
It worked.
could
He
be
went-
a thing.
He
yeah,
ran for governor by saying, "I'll be back."
I'm sure. Yeah, he would like threw like a pipe into a guy in a movie. Like he like throws a pipe
Uh-huh.
through a guy's like stomach and like nails him to the fucking wall. And and like steam starts coming out of the pipe from his body. He's like time to let off some steam. You're like, okay, Jesus,
It's the 80s.
dude. It's
Don't tell me you didn't like Total Recall. The first one.
I never saw Total Recall.
None of them? Because
Yeah.
they remade it with
Yeah,
what's his
no.
face? Colin whatever. Not the first one?
No, I never saw Total Recall.
It was okay. It's one of those like I saw it in French first of all, so I don't think that counts. So there's a guy who does a Schwarzenegger voice, like every dub version. Like we have a guy that's his job is to do Eddie Murphy in every Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh, really?
That's his job. And
Yeah,
it's so recognizable. He did all Beverly Hills Cops,
Really? That's
like
funny.
Trading Places. That's like nobody else. He doesn't do any other.
It's just that's his
It's
thing.
just,
That's what he does.
He's the French Eddie Murphy. I don't know what he looks like. All I know is that he's-
No, he does.
no, but the way he talks, it sounds like what Eddie Murphy sounds like in English.
That's funny.
So it's great.
That's cool.
Great casting.
Yeah. My favorite Schwarzenegger movie is Kindergarten Cop.
Really?
I love that movie. Movie's great. I have a
Not-
weird taste in.
Yeah, I can tell.
I know. It's oh, another sleeper, by the way. Movies that you haven't seen. Actually, you know what? I'll save that for the dope shit because I've already given away my other one. So
I try to think of another good one. Recently, like in that same vein of, hey, I don't know what's going on, that with a twist. Knives Out. I thought was pretty cool.
yeah, Knives Out was good. I liked that.
I'm glad they're making another one.
The Prestige.
Yes, dude. Yes,
It's one of the best twist endings
Thank
of
you.
all time.
yes. The Prestige was dope, and they don't. I'm gonna sound old, like they don't make those that much anymore.
No, they don't. I mean, there's a handful of directors that they will allow to make movies
Mhm.
that are not about people in capes. Like that,
Yeah, because that's what works. It's either you get a new Fast and Furious,
it's a
or there's a
sequel.
new
Yeah,
Expendable that's coming out.
you're either doing a sequel, you're rebooting an IP, or you're making an off branch, like some offshoot movie from an already established franchise. That's like all. That's
mean-
all that theaters will allow because
There's
We-
no money in
no,
original
no,
ideas.
and it's our fault because every time they release them, people go see them at theaters. If you people keep complaining about why aren't there better movies, there are. Like there are thousands made every fucking year, and they're at film festivals, local film
Yeah.
festivals. They're everywhere. Go see those. Like the reason that Hollywood keeps pumping out the same bullshit for the last 10 years is because you go watch it when they make it. Like if you want them to stop making like superhero movies, stop watching them in theaters.
What he said. No, I agree. I agree. There's a lot of shitty, and not just that. It's now that you have, the Netflix and all that. It's like
That's pulled the rug out from.
no,
underneath.
it did because
They don't know what to do.
they just try to what's the word? Capitalize on star power. So you get a movie like Underground 6, whatever that movie was with not Mark Wahlberg, the other guy. The guy who played a Green Lantern, who has a movie called Free Guy right now.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, so
movie was such a piece of shit.
yes,
But it was like
it's not
kind of
Netflix.
enjoyable because it's like whatever. Well, of course, because Netflix has money to burn. But actually, here's the thing: no, they don't.
No,
Netflix
they're still in
hasn't.
the red, right?
Yeah, Netflix hasn't turned a profit since 2010. Like Netflix, their business model is ridiculous. It's the same as Amazon's. Amazon is not I think they are profit. I think they actually make profit.
Probably.
Netflix does not make profit.
The cost of
They're valued at a high
high
high stock
value is
price.
high. Yes.
And that's it. They don't actually. Netflix doesn't actually make money. Like
Everybody shares the credentials anyway, and then they have to pay. It's like, oh, it's a Netflix original. Yeah, you have to pay for all that. If you want to have Matt Damon in your movie, you
Yeah,
want to have a
in your Netflix
Mark Wahlberg
series, yeah.
Oh, I watched that Infinite
The what?
Mark Wahlberg movie.
I don't know what that is.
Don't know. It was so bad. It's like it sucks because the premises are dope, but the execution is horrible.
Mm.
Here's the premise: you're this dude that basically has lived multiple lives over the centuries, and you have all these acquired skills, but you don't know how you got them.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's like kind of Jason Bourne.
yeah, kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so somebody's looking for you, and you're like, because you have this thing, and it's actually, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna. He finds out, and he's like, oh, this is probably shit. This is no. I know how to make swords because I just know how to make swords, and that's it. And like, no,
Does this take place modern day?
yeah,
Okay.
a little futuristic, a little bit, but it's nothing.
But he's lived like a bunch of past lives.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it's forgot the actor's name. Black guy doesn't help. Black guy.
Denzel.
No.
Shit with Ejiofor.
No, but it's like, okay, I get the premise, but you're gonna have this, like the hero trope. Like at first he's like, what the fuck is this? And then within there's a montage and he trains,
Yeah.
and then he gets better at it, and now he knows how to control his shit, and then he has to go and fight the guy who's the ancestor of the guy. Like, no, stop. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. Actually, the last one I saw that was just like that, as in like, not as it was whack. Denzel Washington's son.
Oh yeah, Black Klansman.
Yeah, so Tenet, I didn't know what the fuck was
Tenet.
going.
No one knew what the fuck
No,
was
I don't
going
know
on.
what-
I've still
fell asleep.
I still haven't seen it because I just heard everyone say the
nobody
same
knows.
shit, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't like Chris Nolan is a great fucking director.
Yes.
But when you go out of your way to confuse people, like
No,
I don't
it made no
care.
sense.
I don't want to watch your movie. I'm sorry.
And that guy has like 2 facial expressions the entire movie. He's
Oh,
either shocked
Robert
or
Pattinson?
serious. No, the black guy.
Oh, okay. I'm hopefully stoked for the new Batman. I mean, I'm not
Wait, doesn't? Oh, that's right.
the Batman.
Just
I know. Robert
put it in a
Pattinson.
drawer. Yeah, just you know what? How many times are you gonna tell that story? I'm tired of Spider-Man.
Believe me.
I'm tired.
I know.
People will go see it
Of course.
because it's fucking Twilight, dude.
It's Spider-Man and Batman are my two dudes. I will always see a Spider-Man movie. I will always see a Batman movie. If they make another
Stop seeing him. You
Batman
just
doesn't count. He's classic. He was
no.
the first. He was the original. No, Superman was the original. But that was the original. Yeah.
I'll play the game, but stop with the story.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
all-
would like to see more, but it's
who's the villain? Do you know?
in the Batman?
The Pattinson one.
Yeah, it's like there's a rotating few. I know who the actor is, I believe. It's fuck. what is that kid's name? He's a good actor. I forget.
Well, who does it play?
I don't know.
What villain?
I don't know. I think
mean,
it's
if you
the
bring
Riddler.
back
I think it's the Riddler.
Okay, done that.
I think, but kind of. But
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't the main one. But I mean, if you're gonna say, I mean, let's be honest. The Joker was the guy. Joker's the best villain ever created.
Sure.
Period.
From what I've heard about this movie, though, this movie is like Batman the Detective. It's like he's like working a case. This whole movie. That's like more what it is. You're more seeing him as a detective. There's still like
he's fighting poor people. Yeah, as a rich guy still.
I see, yeah, I'm sure. He's still like a rad dude that like does martial arts and shit. But like, I think it's more of a detective story, which I'm totally down for. Did you see? There's a movie that no one saw that Edward Norton spent a lot of his own money making called Motherless Brooklyn.
No.
Which was
no one saw it.
I thought was great. Yeah, no one did, which is unfortunate. I saw it. I thought it was great.
I watched Infinite.
Yeah, you watched a shitty Mark Wahlberg movie about a sword maker. This is a story where he's like it's like takes place in the 30s or something, and he's a detective, where he's an assistant to a PI who is Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis gets shot. He's in the hospital in like a coma or some shit.
Bruce Willis plays a cop. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, PI.
Okay, cop.
Different.
Cop
and
who looks for
Edward
shit.
Norton has Tourette's in the movie in the
Oh,
30s, which no one really knows what that is yet. It's an interesting little thing, and he has to kind of work this case, and it's a very detective noir type of thing. Alec Baldwin plays the villain based off of a real guy that basically ran New York forever under the guise of being the Parks and Recreation director. And he basically
is it based on something?
Yeah, yes. If you hear Edward Norton talk about it, it is, but they don't come out and say that really in the movie. But it is based off of a figure in New York history that not a lot of people know about. He ran New York. He is the reason mayors got elected. He's the reason the Dodgers left New York. Like he's the reason skyscrapers got built where they were. He was the crime lord of New York for decades.
Wait, is it one of the guys that got busted by?
This is bad. I mean, this is in like the 30s.
Oh,
like,
30s. Never
yeah,
mind. I'm thinking 80s with Giuliani and shit.
Maybe it was the 30s. Maybe it was the 50s to something. It was a long time ago. It was a very, very long time ago. But yeah, it's a good movie. That movie surprised me. And that movie, again, not the standard XYZ. I'll tell you the shittiest movie I've seen recently. I didn't even watch the whole thing. We were laughing. We were laughing watching this movie.
What?
Is The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
I didn't even know. No, not for me.
That movie.
No. See, what streaming service was it on?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, still, it's like you just capitalize it. Okay, it's Pratt on it.
That movie is so bad. Like it's so by the numbers. This is how movies are made. Like, I'm telling you, man, it's just exposition dump within the first 3 pages. We know what he literally says. I've always dreamed of being blank. You're like, okay, it's just, dude, it's so bad. And not even for that, it's just the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And there's such a clear agenda behind parts of this movie too. And
I will raise you.
Sure.
Beckett.
Never saw it.
It's on Netflix. It's Denzel Washington's son again with the two facial expressions the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Can't run straight, nothing. The guy is a girlfriend. They're in Greece. Yeah, they're in Greece, and they're on vacation. They get in the car. They're tired as hell. He drives off a cliff, and she dies. So he's stranded in Greece. He doesn't speak Greek at all. And they don't put subtitles when people speak Greek too, which really helps. Really helps with the story, with the plot, and he's basically stranded there, and for some reason, cops are looking for him. Like, and there's protest going on, and he's caught up in this missing. Oh, that's the thing. I'm not giving anything away. It's not worth.
It sounds like 4 different plots.
No. This is so bad. So when they run off the cliff, and they end up crashing into this house, and so his girlfriend's dead. He makes it out of the car, and he sees a kid with a woman in the basement. So and when he goes, like, he's all injured and shit. He's injured the entire movie. He doesn't take a shower. He has the same clothes the entire time. He's just running from shit, getting on trains for free, trying to get away from people. And he goes to the cops and he goes, yeah, I was in this wreck, and then I saw this kid in the house, and the guy was like, no, this house has been abandoned. Nobody lives in that house. And it turns out there's actually a case for a missing kid in the country, and then there's some politicians involved, and the guy's just running away because people think that he's done it or some
Sounds
shit.
very convoluted.
No, yo. It's and the name his character's name is Beckett, and you're like, it's one of those, you watch the trailer and you go, I don't know what the fuck is going on, so I'll check it out. Might be intriguing, but it's just him running away, getting stabbed, fighting cops, and you have no idea why he's involved in all this. I fell asleep 3 times. I watched it in 4 sittings. It was so bad. So watch Beckett, get high first. I didn't. That's my mistake.
Yeah.
That's my mistake. But they don't subtitle, they don't sub it, nothing.
Helpful.
Yes. So watch. Which one did you pick up? Where's the movie?
Oh,
Tomorrow Man.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrow War.
Tomorrow War. Yeah.
The Tomorrow War. Don't watch that. Get high, but just don't watch that. Do something better with your high.
No, just you know what? It's actually fun to talk shit about movies as you watch them.
It is.
I watched No Sudden Move on HBO. Don Cheadle, the good cooking brother, Kieran.
Oh yeah.
Benicio del Toro is in there.
It's great.
Great cast, right? I'm watching the shit, and I'm like, okay, it's the plot is kind of, and Brendan Fraser makes a return to the big screen, I guess, because I haven't seen the past.
Okay.
He's all fat
I
now.
loved him.
Yeah.
It's a great movie called Blast
Mummy?
from the Past.
Oh.
Yeah, The Mummy.
That's my only reference to Brendan Fraser.
No,
The Mummy.
He's in a movie with Christopher Walken called Blast from the Past. It's great.
Yeah, nobody saw it.
But it's phenomenal.
And so I'm watching this thing, and at one point there's a scene where the guy's dead, and I pause it, and I'm like, wait, hold on, let me rewind that. And the guy's supposed to be dead in the kitchen, and you see his thumb move. I rewinded it. I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. So it was someone's job to check for that shit.
Hey
And
man,
the
there was a Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones, dude.
Yeah, but come on. Like, it wasn't even a little, and it was literally like there was the shot for like maybe 2 seconds, and half of this, like 4 seconds, you saw the thumb just go whoop. And I'm like, yep, never mind. Now I had high hopes for this movie, but no, this is like within the first 20 minutes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, bad. Overall, and Don Cheadle was kind of
That sucks because I love Don Cheadle.
I hated him in Space Jam. You know what, Space Jam?
No.
The new one.
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good for you. Don't.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, I have a Toon Squad shirt and everything, but I'm going off,
Yeah.
the real Space Jam.
Yes. Yeah. Even the director was like, "This is some bullshit." from the whole one, I was like, "What are you doing? Nike commercial and Warner Brothers commercial the entire time? No, this is so fucking whack." Oh shit. That's what I wanted to talk about. Sucks that I have to say that.
You just
Yeah.
wanted to, you just wanted to bash that movie for a bit.
No. I mean, I knowing that you're a movie buff,
It is. It's a big part of my life for sure.
do you want to So you're still gonna put out that the script and make something out of it?
We want to. We have a feature film that we've written.
Yeah.
That we plan to shoot ourselves. I'm casting it. Another buddy is casting it. Hopefully we can do it for around or under $100,000, which is not that much in the film world. And hopefully it's something we can do ourselves. We spent a lot of time on it. We've written probably 6 or 7 drafts of it. It'll probably change again. Not a lot of it. Jared just recently read back through it, and he's like, I don't really have that many notes. I mean, we did like 6 push-up drafts of this thing.
Oh, wow.
Over the course of
I have no
6
idea what
months.
it takes to write a script.
A lot of work and just.
I mean, I'm
time.
sure. I mean, you're writing. I don't even know what it looks like. I just see it like on TV. But
Right.
you're actually writing all the dialogue and then what happens.
Mhm.
Like, okay, walks towards the door. type
Yeah,
shit.
there's yeah. It's description and which I do. Jared makes the outlines. Like he writes the outlines, comes up with a lot of the plot points and kind of story overview, and then I go in and take the kind of story map that he's written, what we call a treatment or a scriptment or just an outline, and I go through and I actually write the screenplay, and then I send him pages. I'll read him pages because we wrote this over the phone. I was in Ohio. He was in Denver. And
you can't tell me what it's about.
If
you were to do a trailer,
right now. Not right now. It's
if you need a trailer, it'd be all of it, right?
Yeah, no. It's I will say, we wrote, I think, 2 drafts of a different movie, before this.
Uh-huh.
I wrote probably up to, I think I got as far as about 70 pages, and we just realized we were writing the wrong movie. It was like we don't.
Oh fuck.
We kind of hate, which happens. We had tried to write, I think, 2 or 3 features before that that never made it to the end. Like so, to fade to black, which happens. That's what writing is.
But do you actually go to festivals? Like we have movies festivals.
No, I mean, we haven't made it yet. It's just a script right now.
Just to like get in the.
I think
foot in the door or try to meet some people or whatever.
I don't know. I haven't. No. I'm more. I'll write. I will act. In it. I'll give my time to that, to make sure it gets made. I would love to do producing work, as well, but I'm a stand-up. I'm a comic. That's what I want to do. I want to be a stand-up that makes movies, not an actor that does stand-up.
You mean Judd Apatow?
No, Judd Apatow is a filmmaker.
He was a stand-up?
Barely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then he got to be super famous and gave himself a special. It was funny, but
I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, it was funny. I watched it. Judd Apatow is also probably one of the biggest reasons I write movies, for sure. But don't call yourself a stand-up comic. You're a filmmaker. Like, don't do that.
Well, who else has done it right?
Louis C.K.
Oh, yes, true. Okay.
Yeah, I think Louis C.K. is the perfect example. He is a stand-up that then made narrative fictional content, and did it well, and himself. And I love.
What are you talking about, Louis? Lucky Louis?
Yeah, Lucky Louis.
I love Lucky Louis.
I mean, he made Pootie Tang.
That's right.
He made Horace and Pete, like his own series.
Horace and Pete, yeah.
That he just released off his website. Yeah.
I can't think.
And then just started selling his own tickets and booking his own tours and cutting out the middlemen and the executives, which is why they sent those reporters to those girls.
Yeah, he I think he was the first to be like, "Hey, my special is available on my website.
Yep.
Pay $5."
Yeah, he started taking money from people's pockets. That's
I remember that. I'm like, yeah, $5.
And then suddenly an article came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they do. It is. Fuck these people, dude. Fuck anyone who wears a suit for a living. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, you gotta. This is the way we live in now. You cut off the middle.
No. It's fucking changing though.
No, it is. I'm saying we don't need these fuckers no more.
No, their jobs are becoming more and more irrelevant, and they know it.
Anytime someone has a good idea and then suits get involved, it just fucks it up.
No, because you wear a suit because you don't have good ideas, so you have to look nice.
Just give the money and shut the fuck up and say, hey, go do your thing.
Yeah, just facilitate.
Yeah, that's all we asking. That's all we're asking you.
You don't need to but what about if we shut the fuck up? Like you didn't go. You've never written anything significant. You've never gotten on stage and done anything. You've never been creative your entire life. You're a money grubbing, hypocritical, selfish prick. No one you contribute nothing of any value creatively, and you never have, and you never will.
This is turning into a TED Talk.
This is the most aggressive TED Talk. What's up, bitch? Welcome.
I'm Ben Howard, goddammit. I'm telling y'all right now. I need to cut this shit off.
Who's wearing a suit in here? I fucking dare somebody to be wearing a suit. I don't know why I'm talking like an aggressive.
No, but that's true. Even when you see comedy festival put on by comics.
Yeah.
Comedy clubs run by comics.
I mean, this is why we're all here.
Yes, that's what's coming.
You've lived here forever, but this is, we all moved here because Rogan announced he was going to open a club here. And
it's coming. It'll be here in a couple months.
That's, again, we're all standing around the same craps table right now. We all gambled on Austin. We're all rolling the dice on Austin because we believe that in, I would say, at least 2 to 3 years, it'll be the next comedy hub of the United States.
Oh, it will be. If Rogan thinks so, I think it.
I think so.
Only he can make it happen.
That's true.
I mean, he got everybody to move.
If
here
he
anyway.
gives up and is like, well, can't,
No.
club didn't really work out, gotta go, then
I don't think it will.
I don't think so either. He's the most famous person, and I ran into him in the bathroom at Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he around? He had his two big dudes around him.
No, one of them opened the door for him.
Yeah.
But I was peeing, and I heard the door kind of slam open, and it was just his security guard. Poof. But I didn't know that at the time because they got the dividers up at the Creek and the Cave next to the urinal, so you can't see who's peeing next to you. And I just knew there was another person in the bathroom, and I go to wash my hands, and I just like look in the mirror, and behind me I see this like short, bald dude with a big scar across the back of his head, and I was like, "That's fucking Joe Rogan." It was crazy, and then I just started washing my hands like too long, just to like. I just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to say hi.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I said hey, and immediately my heart started pounding out of my chest, which I was very disappointed in myself that was my reaction.
It's always like that.
It sucks, but it was just the way it was. I was like, I don't look at him as some sort of. I didn't. Again, that makes it sound like I'm like looking at him like some sort of like god or some shit. It's like he's just one of the most famous people in the world, and it's very odd when you've seen someone on a screen your entire time knowing who they were, and then they're like this close to you, and it's a dude who like, oh, you're the reason I moved here. Like you're a dude who could fucking. You're
a kingmaker.
Dude. Yes.
He is. I mean, so
like,
many people.
I just started fucking. I was like, oh my god. I said a few things. I mentioned the North Korean girl on his podcast, and he was like, oh, dude, that one got to me. Blah blah blah.
Oh, you talked to him?
Yes.
Oh, I thought in the bathroom still.
Yes. And I knew. I'm in my head. I'm like, 5, 4, 3, 2, get the fuck out, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I got the fuck out of there. I said, I left the bathroom. I'm like, break a leg, buddy. I'm like, what? Like,
you'll do great.
What did I say? Like, it was crazy.
People will love you.
I'm also in a bit of a conundrum right now with Joe Rogan because I have to talk to him about this. I actually genuinely do. If I see him around, I'm going to have to. Like, I've been doing a bit for like over a year that it's a larger bit. But within it, I talk about in Greenville, Ohio, where I was the last couple of years. There's this park, and in this park, there's like a fenced off area where there's like 5 peacocks. And I do a whole
about peacocks on the plane, right?
I do maybe I don't know about the plane, but I just go off on a rant about peacocks and how they're useless, and I make the noise. The peacocks make it's a very I like make the noise. It's a part of the bit, and it's one of the funniest parts of it.
Yeah.
And that same night I ran into Rogan in the bathroom, I caught like the first half of his set at Creek, and he talks about peacocks and he does the noise.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and it's about as a emotional support peacock.
Yes, that's exactly what
I've
it's
seen
about.
I've seen a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we should maybe not say too much about his set.
No, it's great
on air, but
not that. Really.
I mean, he's obviously they test their material.
He has shows every week. He's here.
No, for sure. But I just don't want to be giving away people's jokes. But we have this like I do a joke that's I have been doing that longer than he has. I know I have, and I have visual proof. I have video of me from Wiley's Comedy Club in Dayton, like early 2020, doing that bit. And I need to ask him, comic to comic. I get he's the biggest comic in the fucking world. That doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I am a comic, and you are too. We are doing bits that are very similar, and I would like his professional opinion as someone who is much more tenured about, and ask him his advice. What do I do about this? And I'm like, I would like to ask him that. I'm not just gonna give up the bit unless he says I should. Like,
I don't think you should.
I'm just saying we're both doing very similar bits. I don't know what to do about that, and I would like to ask him. Like,
I'll tell you what he'll tell you.
What?
Just keep it. It's your
my
version
spin
of
on it. Okay,
I mean, it's not. If it was word for word, I'd be like, yeah, fucking.
It's just we both do the noise that a peacock makes. Did you know how fucking specific that is? It's gonna look like I'm ripping off Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but it's like if you're gonna do, how many times I've heard, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke. You know how many times I've heard that punchline from.
Then why aren't gay comics funny?
Yeah, but I've heard that so many times, and I heard it. I heard it recently And I'm like, okay, what? Okay, so that's it. And then black beat your kids. Like the whole. I'm
No, this isn't. It's just we have similar bits, and I don't know what to. We
just keep it. Who cares?
People care. We have similar. It's we both make the noise a peacock is making. That's so
No,
oddly similar.
He goes bat, and you go somewhere.
I do the actual noise that it makes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it doesn't matter. I'll tell you this. When I saw him do the bit of Vulcan, I laughed every time he went bat. I laughed. So
yeah,
if you actually like, look, I'm actually doing the right thing.
I don't even want to get into that. I'm not gonna be like, well, the noise I'm making is. I don't want to be that cunt.
You're like Vanilla Ice who sampled Queen. Like, no, it's not the same thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just keep the thing.
I'm just in my head about
it. Until it gets to, if it becomes a.
I don't want it to become an issue. That's why I'm going to talk to him first. And the idea of like, oh, I'm just gonna go talk to Joe Rogan about it. That sounds insane.
No, it does. That's why I'm like.
I'm aware that sounds insane, but the fact of the matter is, we are around the same clubs, and I do, oddly enough, have somewhat access to him, even if I have to like tap on his security guard's shoulder and be like, "Hi, I need to ask him a question, like about comedy. Like, I'm not a crazy person. I am a comic. I need to ask him a question. Sorry to do this to you, but I have to ask you about this. I have to, and I don't care if it makes me look like an idiot. Like,
if you don't care,
I need to know this about my joke. Like, it's a good joke. It's funny, and I don't want to be doing it because again, like you said, Rogan's performing every week around here. That means he's probably doing that bit every week, and people that went and saw his show will come and see me somewhere and be like, "Hey, you're doing the same bit Joe Rogan's doing." I don't want that to happen. Yeah, I know, but I don't want it to happen. I need to fucking ask.
Find another bird. I don't know.
Find another bird. No, he needs to find another fucking animal.
Oh, so now it's his fault.
It is. My bit is so specifically about peacocks. He can put any weird animal in there and just make a noise for the animal. It doesn't have to necessarily be about peacocks.
But okay, but I don't think his bit is. Yeah, it's not specifically about peacocks.
It isn't. He could put he could have he could put any animal in here. Mine is specifically about peacocks.
But that's the only thing that's the same between your two jokes.
Which is why he needs to change it.
Guys, all right, you are serious.
You heard me, Joe.
Joe, if you ever hear this,
he's not.
Of course not.
Yeah, no, and he does. He'll never.
You know what?
He'll also never know who I am.
Has anybody actually confronted you about it?
No, I'm the one making a big deal about it.
So it's never gonna happen, man. It's never gonna.
I'm the only one who cares about this.
Tell you what, next time I see you, if I hear that, I'd be like, "Yo, that's Rogan's joint, right?"
I haven't even done the bit since I've been in Austin. It's too long.
You haven't?
I haven't had a set time long enough to do it. It's a long joke.
Like 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
It's about that, yeah.
Well, his is like 3, maybe.
I know. That joke has a lot of fat anyway. I need to look at it, but I like the whole premise of it. It turns into it's about we don't need graveyards.
All right, no
anymore.
peacock jokes. Anybody? I'm talking to you.
Stay away from birds.
I'm talking to you, Kevin Hart. I'm talking to you,
Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle.
No bird jokes.
Others. Yeah, I don't want. If I even fucking hear you talking about a peacock, even just in normal conversation. Not even on stage.
I had this thing.
I'm gonna tweet you.
I was writing about the word shit and how it has so many different applications in English.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like I don't know shit. You're shit.
Oh, that bit that the guy does about ass.
Oh, so no. Here's the thing. I actually YouTubed it. I started writing it. I YouTubed it, and I saw this because I'm big on language because I speak 3. So I like the English versus French kind of comparison. And then this, I think it was Canadian guy, either Canadian or Australian, one of the two, but did a whole thing about the word shit. It was,
okay.
And seriously, it was like all the application of the word shit that I would find, like he actually brings it up in his bit. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, believe me, I've done.
And I'm nobody. I'm less than nobody.
Same. And believe me, I know. I remember I had to.
The audacity of I was
like 20 years old, I think, and I was doing a set. I got booked to do a set at ASU in Tempe, and I like realized day of that like I had been because I started kind of after that Ice House show. I then did like an open mic at a club called the Comedy Spot. The owner liked me and had me start basically just being a resident at that club, and so I got to fucking my first year of comedy was like. Mostly club audiences.
That's good.
I know. It was very, and that's just my personal experience. But I started divvying out and doing other random shows. And I got booked to do this set at ASU. And it occurred to me, like, the day of, that I'm like, fuck, all my material is kind of like for, it's like for people probably at this time, like my age now, and like into their 30s, like the people that go to comedy clubs. I'm like, these are 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
And I really got in my head about that. And I wrote an entire new 5 minutes that night. And
you tried it for the first time out. That okay.
Yeah, and it all worked, right? Which was crazy. I used to be able to fucking do that. God, I miss that fucking first year energy. But yeah, I did a whole thing on.
You're very disgruntled now.
Yeah, I'm angry. It's like I've had a sitcom canceled.
Yeah,
like,
that's what,
yeah.
what it's like. Fuck you, Suits.
Yeah. A holding deal, they said. Like, yeah, whatever. But I wrote like a whole new 5 minutes that night about just shit that I thought kids of our generation would laugh at, because at the time, I was only 20, so it's like 18-year-olds are still close to me. But and it fucking worked. But I had this whole bit about how Bruno Mars makes me feel like a shitty boyfriend. And I just repeated the lyrics to Grenade and made some comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
And it did very well. It was a great joke. I was like, fuck, this is a new bit for sure. John Caparulo, who is a stand-up from Cleveland, releases his Netflix special like 2 months later. And I'm talking word for word almost the exact same bit about the same Bruno Mars song, same shit, start to finish. And I was like, fuck. I was like, that's insane. I mean, this is his special, so clearly he'd been doing that bit for at least a year.
Right.
So I'm like, shit, this is one of the best things I've ever written. I gotta let it go. Like, it sucks. It's happened, dude. I fucking, one of my first good jokes that I remember writing, I was like, this is a good bit, was about getting my, this is how long ago it was the opener of the bit was, I got my first smartphone recently. That's how old that joke is.
Wow.
Yeah. And
really
just about being about, it was like about being afraid to watch porn on my smartphone because of the share to Facebook options just staring up at you.
Yeah.
And in Ohio, a couple years ago, I'm like watching this dude do a set, does almost the same joke. And then within that same set, does a Brian Regan joke.
Like an actual Brian Regan joke.
Dude, about the serving size of ice cream being a half a cup. And I'm like, how do you not know you're ripping off Brian Regan? Like, or in Fig Newton, it was something about the serving size. I'm like, I sent him that link. I was like, hey, by the way, we were friends.
Yeah.
I was like, first of all, I have no idea how you even opened the bit with, I'm afraid to watch porn on my smartphone. Like, who says that? Smartphone is so outdated now. Like, no one says smartphone anymore. He said smartphone and talked about, like, porn, watching porn, accidentally sharing to Facebook. Like, either you did a deep dive on my YouTube page. Like,
did you put out your stuff?
I got some shit from a long time ago for sure. That's on my YouTube. Yeah.
It's a free for all.
I guess. But it's like, go ahead, do it. This is from fucking 2013, this video is. So, like, I clearly been doing it longer. Also, I haven't done that bit since I was 20 years old. I don't even care about it anymore. Take it. It's yours. Like, but, like, the more I was like, that's a fucking Brian Regan joke, dude. Like, straight up. I don't know how you not see that one.
There's a YouTube channel called Copy Comic. Is this guy... he's basically taking a bunch of American comics and then French comics who rip off American comics word for fucking word.
Really?
So he will, like, you'll see it side by side. So it's like here's a Bill Dwyer joke, and then here's this French comic word for word. You know that Dave Chappelle joke on Kill Him Softly about, oh, this black guy, robbed this house and then kept pictures of himself. It's on Kill Him Softly. I'm not doing it justice, but the premise is, when you're black and you're well off, and you call the cops, and the cops come to your house, you got, oh my, holy shit, yeah, this guy robbed this house, and then hung up pictures of him and his family.
Oh god, yeah.
And then he's still here, and then just knock him out. So this
that's funny.
This French comic took the exact same thing, just translated in French, because comedy in France is so big that they don't necessarily know American comics and their references.
Gotcha.
They don't.
They're not seeing the same content.
Yeah, exactly. But so I could take a Brian Regan joke, flip it to French, and nobody in France would know.
They do that with fucking talk shows.
Oh, yeah.
They just do copycat talk shows like that are the same thing, same intro music, everything over there. It's just in a different language. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but so that guy went on his whole channel is that. It's like here's the American version and here's the French version, word for word. And then he shot a documentary where he could try to confront the French comics, and some of them were huge. Like Gad Elmaleh is the #1 comic in France.
That was a name you just said?
Gad Elmaleh.
Gad Elmaleh.
Gad, yeah, Gad. Trust me, he's a superstar in France.
I'm sure.
Nobody knows him in England, in America.
Right, yeah.
But he's what he did was, once he got big in France, he had a residency, I forgot what club in New York, and he started over in English. And it fucking killed. And I saw him here.
Oh, it did well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He grew up in Canada, in Quebec, so he speaks both languages, but he was huge in France first, and then he took his, basically rewrote and started writing in English, and then he had a residency, he went on tour in America and everything, and it worked well for him. But
he was he doing ripped off bits in English? Or was
no,
that
in French.
just in French?
Just in French.
Oh, okay.
No,
so he knew what he was doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he got confronted about it, and there were articles about it.
Yeah,
He would go on talk shows and the news and saying, I was inspired, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, see, articles, news stories that I need to talk to Joe Rogan. Peacocks will bring me down. Do you understand this?
NBC, fuck you.
Sure. Yeah, that too. There are some I'm really surprised are not a conversation piece. Bill Burr, as much as I fucking love Bill Burr, I don't remember what special it is. It's the one where he starts talking about how women argue. It's one of the ones that people react to the most.
Is that the black and white one?
No, it's not the black and white one. I think it's the one before that.
You're all the same?
Yeah, I think it's You're All the Same. He does a bit about, I think it comes down to the way women argue, and he starts talking about I'm trying to remember how he says it. He basically says if they're right, they argue the point and they stay on point. If they're wrong, they go rogue. And they start saying all this shit you're sensitive about, just to stir it up. They start concocting. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
They start concocting. He starts doing this with a mic stand. This one statement that'll just fuck your entire world up, just to get you so fucking mad that you call him a cunt. But this idea of they're just concocting this one statement. Dane Cook, way before that special came out.
Yeah.
It was I don't think it's Vicious Circle. It might be Vicious Circle.
Okay.
It's either Vicious Circle or Retaliation, one of the discs. I think it's Vicious Circle, but it could be Retaliation.
It's Dane Cook. Okay.
Yeah. Dane Cook has a special. That's a whole bit of they concoct this one statement that, well, you're just stupid like your father. And he goes off on that. It's the same fucking bit. Especially and I'm not saying Bill Burr stole shit. It's parallel thinking.
Yeah.
But that's not even a conversation piece. Nate Bargatze has on multiple albums, I think, and I've seen him do it on multiple talk show appearances from when he was coming up, about Don't Shake the Baby. He had, him and his wife had a baby, and they give you so much information on Don't Shake the Baby. It's and it's a whole bit. Don't shake the baby when you have a baby. Pete Holmes releases his HBO special a year or two ago, 2 years ago. His opening bit about having a kid is how much they tell you not to shake the baby. And I'm like, how do you not know? How is that just, as a comic, how did that just miss? It's the same fucking bit, dude.
It could be the same fucking bit. But there's different slant on it.
I guess, but even if the premise is that fucking close, then why do the joke? Write something else.
So I'm
just amazed that hasn't come up. It's not even a conversation.
I have a.
And I love Pete Holmes, by the way. He's one of the comics when I first started that was very, he messaged me back on Facebook once before he was really even big. It
And you
was
started-
very encouraging.
You
To me.
started a diary that day and took a screenshot and
I
framed
did.
it.
I did screenshot the reply.
Of course you did. Of course you did. So, like, Trevor Noah is another one that I
Mm.
really like because he brings in that, hey, I'm not from around here, so I'm going to point out some crazy shit that American people do.
Right.
Right? Which is, if you're not from America, it's an easy perspective to bring because it kind of puts things in perspective to the audience, right? Even if your audience is full of foreigners or immigrants, right? And I've seen him live, and he does this thing about woohoo.
Oh, like girls doing that.
Yeah, girls doing
Yeah.
woohoo. And I have a bit about woohoo that I've been doing. You probably, I don't know if you heard it, but it actually works pretty well. But I'm like, he's not doing the same. Like the way he takes the joke is totally different from
Right.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, so and don't get me wrong, like a lot of the stuff that Trevor Noah does, I watch it and I'm like, yo, yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I could have developed something around that, and I'm not gonna not do it. Just
That's interesting
he has
because
it.
you're both foreigners technically
Yeah,
that like now live in America and have that unique perspective. That's interesting.
and that's why I'm like, in my material, I'm like, I want to do shit that nobody else can do because if I start saying, well, you know, black people, white people beat your kids, I'm like, yeah, been done,
Dude,
done.
I
like
don't-
I'm such a nerd about comedy because I grew up with it,
Yeah.
and I speak in quotes.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
speak in comedy quotes all the time, and I watch. I'm a fan first before I'm a comic. I'm a fan first, so I'll go see. I saw Rich Voss last weekend, and I was like, "Holy shit, that was a class!
Yeah, he's here this weekend too.
That was a master class." You know, I go see Tony. I go see, Adam Ray that was in town last
Yeah, he was
week.
at Romo Room. I love watching Tony Hinchcliffe work.
I do too.
That guy's great.
I do too. And the thing is, it's like I understand the process, and I understand. Like I saw Rogan 5 times in a month and a half.
Just kind of studying.
Yes, because I was like,
yeah.
I wanted to see how how his bit changes or evolve from one night to
Right,
the
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And I met him a couple of times, but it's like that's what I'm interested in, and so I totally understand the hey, I have an idea about this, I'm gonna develop it, but I'm gonna take a left, and someone else gonna have the same idea and take it to the right. At the end of the day, there's only so much you can talk about, and
Sure.
I'm at a point now where there's certain like genre of comedy that I'm like, okay, I've seen this shit. If you're a black comic and you're doing the preacher type of comedy, I'm like, look, Cat Williams does it. Like, what else you got?
Gotcha.
You know,
yeah.
if you're doing black people, white people kind of comparisons, unless it's a concept that hasn't been touched before.
Sure,
Which
yeah.
I'm sure there's tons, but it's the same. It's
That's what-
kids.
dude.
It's
You will never, and this is a promise to you, the public, you will never hear me get on stage and start talking about white privilege or white guilt.
yeah. So like
Or it's
racism, like the big one right now.
Jesus fuck. Everyone wants to talk about trannies and fucking and race and white privilege and gender. That's all anyone wants to fucking talk about. There's a mic with 25 comics on it. 19 of them have jokes that are the same fucking premise.
I
That's
want
what.
to say the N word and it's racism shit.
Oh
this and
yeah.
this,
A lot of white comics, joking about saying the N word. It's like, dude, just fine. If that's really what you find deeply funny, or do you just think it's current events and that's what you're talking about? Because I write silly shit about fucking up a handshake. I write, why do we still sell ski masks? Only criminals are buying them. Like, shit like
exactly.
it's just left field shit. Like, that's my lane. I grew up on fucking Brian Regan, Mitch Hedberg, and Dane Cook, who were just talking about Pete Holmes. His first album is, I think, genius. Just random shit that you personally find funny. You want to talk about politics? You want to talk about what fucking people are tweeting and like Facebooking about shit? Go for it. But that shit's gonna be old within 2 years, and you're not gonna have shit to talk about.
Yeah,
anymore.
I mean, one thing I've noticed is that usually the opening joke is about something current. So like OnlyFans, for example, is the last one.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
everybody comes up and goes, yeah, OnlyFans they reverted their stuff, so now I can get back into my porn. This is great. Or why would I get OnlyFans or when it's free on X videos or whatever Pornhub?
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. I'm like everybody has that line. Then they get into their shit. I kind of get that as a gateway opening thing just to get it. Oh yeah, OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Yeah, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you get into your shit.
I mentioned COVID.
I don't even have a COVID.
I literally only mention it to slide into this thing about moving to Texas. They're like, if they start these lockdowns again, I'm glad to be here in Texas where we have more freedom. And the joke is
That's a giveaway, man.
what?
Yeah, like Texas with its freedom.
Yeah,
People will clap at that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the joke. Is setting up like that's why I moved here.
Yeah.
Like that's how Texas was advertised. There's more freedom in Texas. I had heard tales of all this star-spangled red, white, and blue American freedom, dude. So I fucking came here, and immediately tried to buy liquor on a Sunday.
But I get that. But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to build,
But yeah, other than that, I don't have a COVID joke. I don't.
no, I'm not saying you do, but
Yeah.
I'm saying in general, I get the topical as in current events.
I
type
do
shit.
too. I'm not slamming people.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I totally was, but
You totally were too.
I
you
do.
Disgruntled.
I know. I'm just, yeah, fuck you, all of you.
I ain't coming to make friends, you fuckers.
Yeah, I didn't come here to make
focus
friends.
on my craft.
That's gonna be the name of this episode. Ben Howard didn't come here to make friends.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll name it that. I don't care.
I bet you will.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap it up. This is good. This is good, man. Welcome to your TED Talk.
Yes.
You can get off your podium now.
Yeah.
Your soapbox. He
Yeah.
had he had a soapbox. He had a
I'm a
podium on
very
the
opinionated.
soapbox.
I'm a very opinionated person who also doesn't care.
But this is exactly like what I mentioned. Is exactly what I thought, and you nailed it.
Oh, I'm glad.
You nailed it.
I'm
I'm
glad
like-
I parred the hole.
You met my expectation.
Good. That's all I really want to do in this life.
Yeah, he wants. I'll be your black friend.
Thank you. I need one.
I'll be token. Fuck it.
Good. Yes, and you have like an accent. You're like real black. You're like
I'm
from
African, black, 100%
Dude,
born there.
that's-
So
you're
yeah,
my trump
this is
card.
double. Like, forget all the.
Like he's got fucking
African-American-
bongos, dude.
He speaks African.
Yeah.
Africans are like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say he speaks African. Which language? It doesn't fucking matter. No, you know what it is? Is he speaks African? Which one? French? What? What?
You know what I mean?
Francis Ngannou speaks French. I don't want to hear it. Oh yeah, dude. Thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
All right, what's your dope shit? You didn't know.
The movie. It's a 2016 movie starring Ben Affleck. It's called The Accountant.
Oh yes.
No one saw that movie,
I did.
and it's fucking great.
Yes, it is.
You want to talk about some cool twists at the end?
Yes.
I mean, the best kind of that kind of story since like Jason Bourne. Like
I would put Gone Girl up there with him.
I've never seen Gone Girl. I missed that.
If you like that, watch Gone Girl.
yeah, I've heard
and
great
you will be
things.
like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
But I say,
it's long.
yeah, I would
It's worth
say, yeah, The Accountant, Ben Affleck. It's probably my favorite role Ben Affleck has ever been in. Maybe until I see Gone Girl.
No, yeah, I think Gone Girl beats it.
Watch the Val Kilmer documentary. Read his book. Read David Goggins' book. Read American on Purpose by Craig Ferguson. Read
Craig Ferguson, a comic?
Craig Ferguson. Yes,
The late night talk show.
yes, the best.
Oh.
One of the best, I think, late night talk
Oh,
show
his
host
shit
of all
was-
time, next
yes.
to Conan. Yeah.
You know what? I watched. If you want a classic Craig Ferguson episode, his best is when he did it with Robin Williams.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
I mean, it's
There's full episodes of the Late Late Show
Oh, really?
on YouTube.
Man, that one I watched it. Every
He
once in a while.
was
I love it.
the dude. He flipped the late night format on its head and was just a fucking anarchist. They didn't rehearse. He refused to. He would literally rip up the question cards when guests come out and would throw them up because he had no interest in asking pre-prepared questions. Like it was
Yeah,
the best free-form conversational late night talk show format ever. Josh Robert Thompson, a comedian out of Cleveland, Ohio, voiced Jeff Peterson, the robot.
The robot.
Jeff Peterson. Yeah. Hey, Craig. Yeah. And he did all the voices and accents and impressions on that show. Josh Robert Thompson, great comic. Don't sleep on him. Go to his Instagram, JRT Show, @JRT Show.
That's a lot of dope shit to remember.
Yes, sorry. You
I-
rewind
I-
it. Write it down. Get a pen.
Yes. Rewind. Yes, you get it. But we'll have links and all that good stuff.
And follow me on Instagram if you want. I don't post much, like I just ranted about at the top of the show, not liking it. But go for it. It looks good to have followers. So at, what is my? Oh yeah, at just call me Howard. Shut up.
You gonna fuck that one up too?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have the links.
Yeah. At just call me Howard on Instagram, at Ben Howard Comedy on Twitter, because they won't let me have at just call me Howard on Twitter because it has to be less than 15 characters, which is a retarded rule.
Find yourself a what was your age range again? 32?
Oh, I mean, like, I don't know, like 25 to 33.
Okay. Find yourself a 26-year-old who's a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Just date her and say, hey, why don't you take care of my content?
Yeah, I need to date a publicist.
Yeah, that would help too.
Yeah, I need to
start with
I need to
assistant
hang
first.
around UT, like, and just like it, like in like the media department,
Yeah.
and just find like a
You would
cute
not
girl who
look
wants to get in
creepy at
PR.
all.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you have your hat off and your hair is wavy and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I
Grow
gotta
your hair a little bit.
shave so I don't look. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I can't do that. They'll arrest me on the spot. My dope shit is simple. I want to give a special shout out to Adam Ray. Because and I'm name dropping here, but he was in town. By the time you hear this, this was the week of, I don't even fucking know.
It was this week.
Yeah, but this comes out in like a couple of weeks.
Okay.
The week of it was 25th and 26th. He was at the Roma Room. Shout out to the Roma Room. And I had met him before a couple of times. He did a podcast with my boy from SA, from San Antonio, called The Street Report. So he did an interview there, and I met him that day. Anyway, and I talked to him. I went to a show on Wednesday, and after the show, I was like, dude, that was dope. I knew like about half the material he did. I already saw because he was at Creek just a couple months ago. But really funny shit. And afterwards, it was like, yo, Beck, you want to do 5 tomorrow?
Oh, really?
And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
That's so cool, man.
I'm like, are you fucking? He goes, he started doing math in his head for like, he was Rain Man for like 30 seconds.
Dude.
And then he goes, okay. I'm like, what do you mean, okay? He goes, you want to do 5 tomorrow? I'm like,
that's so cool.
are you serious? Yeah. And so the next day, I get a call from Pat Bernard, shout out to Pat Bernard, and he says, hey, man, we overbooked the show. And I'm like, okay, I'll drop out. I'll still show up. I want to see. I want to see him again. And then so I'm taking my time. I'm with my son, and then I get home and I get a text from Adam going, "Where the fuck you at?" And I'm like, I was told to drop out. I still come to the show, and he goes, "No, you're up in 20 minutes."
Oh fuck yes.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, okay, I can be there. I took the quickest shower.
I mean, luckily Domain's right here.
Yeah, luckily I live across the street from there. So I rushed up, and then CJ, shout out to, I forgot his last name. He's funny as shit too. I think he was touring with him. But anyway, so CJ was up and he brought me up. I did 5. I think I did well. I recorded it. I'm really and then Adam was afterwards.
That's so cool, Adam Ray.
So shout out to you. Listen to the About Last Night podcast.
Yes, great podcast.
And the other one he had with Chuck Liddell. I forgot the name of it.
Watch The Bellman on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, he's also Young Rock.
Oh yeah.
He's on Young Rock. So check out everything Adam Ray's doing. Follow him on Instagram, Adam Ray Comedy.
Very good comic.
Very funny. So big shout. Thank you again. I was like, I texted him on my way out, like when he told me, and I'm like, I can't just thank him over text. So I rushed back in, knock on the door. I'm like, I gotta shake your hand for this, man. This is huge. and believe it or not, that's the 3rd showcase I've ever done.
Really?
And I did another one earlier that week at Paula Room with Kate Loyce.
That's cool, man. There is I think a saying that I'm gonna fuck up. That is, like you never know when an opportunity is going to present itself.
Yeah.
So always be prepared for an opportunity.
And live close to wherever.
Yeah, and live next to Roma Room.
Yes. No, I'll say this. Like, I'm not the type to, I mean, just like you, I have other things I'm trying to do too, but like raise a child, way more important.
Yes.
But I think that, you hustle, you grind, people see your face, people recognize you, they appreciate you. And you kind of, grow that way. And then people see your hustle and like, okay, why don't you come and do this? I'm not the type to ask. I don't like it.
Yeah, sometimes it's good too.
Yeah, I mean, of
Sometimes
course, you
it's
don't ask, you don't get. People will tell you that.
But the grind is really where it's at.
Yeah.
I learned this a long time ago. It just took me a few years to apply it, and it is, and this is applies to whatever you're doing. But it mostly for me with comedy is like when you have a goal in your life, every decision that you make in your life
Mm-hmm.
needs to be with that goal in mind. Where you live, who you date, what your recreational time is spent doing, what your free time is. I just said that.
Just
But
fucked around for 2 hours.
yeah, like this is but this is a podcast. This is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
podcast with another comic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what you're doing with your free time, the job that you have, your day job. Like, are you renting or are you buying? Is that a good idea? Like, as far as your house go, like, dude, like, do not put down stakes in your life that are going to hold you in place, like that will not allow you to pursue this goal that you want to pursue. You have a kid, obviously that, people with children, that's a different story.